Who talking about me? I don't care what y'all talking about me. You know I don't care. Hey, all I'm doing is trying to make things work the best I can, and you know,
You're a perfectionist.
yeah. But it's just I hate little glitches. And to be honest, I need to get me another computer because I don't like. I like my Mac. Yeah, okay. Now we going live. Okay, go in this mute your mics right quick.
We move with grit, say grit, grit. We rise with grace, say grits. We push for progress, 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 progress. No justice, no sleep. Snare snapping, keep that bounce alive. Unapologetic, black, unfiltered, unshaken. We the future in motion, history in the making. Let's go! Every step, every voice, every beat that we speak. We the rhythm of the people rising week after week. From the block to the ballot, the mic to the streets. We bring fire to the system till the mission's complete. Turn it up, let it hit, let it rise in your chest. This is power, this is purpose, yo, we won't rest. So lean in, tune up, let your spirit digest. This is grit, grace, and progress, 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 progress. Yeah, feel that, hold that, let it settle in your soul. Grit, grace, power in the place. Grit, grace, and progress, say it. Grit, grace, power in the place. Grit, grace, and progress, say it. Grit, grace, and progress, grace, and progress.
Woo! I love that song, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I love that song. I'm so proud of myself for that one. Man, I should have had EB. Y'all, EB can sing, right? He should have jumped on there. I guess should have had him on there get
I
some
learned
solos.
tonight.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, he sang at my wedding. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I worked with EB for a long time, man. Good brother.
Yeah,
But
that was your production,
yeah,
Mars?
yeah, that was me.
I like that.
Not my vocals. Everything was mine. I just got AI doing the vocals. So everything
Oh
else,
man,
all my
wow.
mixing, I did all the mixing, the music, the instrumentation mapping, all that. So
Okay.
I ain't had no singers down here, man. So I had to come to the next best thing. So
He didn't
what?
ask me if I could rap. I was like, no,
Oh, I definitely would have got Greg on there too.
I'm one of the originals. I
You know,
forgot
I
to
don't,
mention it
I don't
earlier.
mind. So let me see. We got a deep show today, and the thing that makes it, in my opinion, so deep is that I was talking to there's a lady in the Prim, and then for those who don't know who Prim is, it's a private group that we kind of discuss politics and social issues and things, and the whole point of it was a big bipartisan group at one time, and then MAGA happened, and so after a while, they kind of filtered themselves out. And we may have one or two that drop in and out every now and then. But the whole point was like a lot of them get some common ground with issues that are out there and literally talk about them and then try to get different perspectives about it, but yet hold each other accountable when they're falling into a narrative or something that's not right, or it shows that it's not right, or however you want to put that. So anyway, there's a lady there named Valerie. You guys might have seen her post. She has a lot of long posts on there, but Valerie's deep. She's deep. And if you all know Jane Elliott, that's who Valerie reminds me
Mm-hmm.
of. And she called me today, and she may be listening today. I'm not sure, but she called me earlier today. We said we're going to talk about trying to do some things to find common ground. And let me make sure we got some audio coming. Oh yeah, we got audio. I had to make sure we had audio coming in on the stream there. But she wants to do something national to where we try to bring people together, not only with finding common ground within our issues and with politics, but also bring common ground with history and the truth of history in America. And she has a deep story. So anyway, I told her what I was doing today, and I told her what my first video was going to be about, and she was like, "That's why you are who you are, because you're going to do those type of things." And I want to show this video, and it was really interesting to me when I'm familiar with this. And if you all know my first topic, and that's actually, before I go through the first topics, I need to get back to what I normally do. I usually come and greet my guests here today. I got to rambling on and wasn't even thinking, but I got Greg here. I got Sharon. I got EB. How y'all doing?
We're great. We're great.
I'm cold.
You cold? Oh man, but I'm glad you all are with me today, and you all share some of the same interests that I have, and I thank you for that. But today's show gonna be deep. We're gonna talk about, and I didn't want it to sound like it's gonna be racial, but this is Black History Month, and Black History Month shouldn't be just February; it should be all year round. And I really brought this video up because we never push back on anything about the Holocaust. We never do. We accept it. We learn the history. We've seen the movies, and we respect the people that went through that trauma. But we don't see the same for us. So one of my first questions was, why were white families, including the children, so comfortable watching lynchings during the Jim Crow and slavery era? I can't fathom taking my kids to watch somebody hang or burn to death and have a comfortable, easy feeling watching this. And that's what this video is going to show. Also in our topics today, we're going to talk about the DOJ. They quietly removed some of the Epstein files from his website. We're going to speak a little bit about Springfield, Ohio. They're bracing for ICE operations there. We're going to also, if you got anybody heard of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, you guys familiar with her?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to play a little video about her, and she talks. You've always heard about this fear in the Caucasian community of being erased because of lack of pigmentation, and the more mixing of races, the more color there are going to be among the races. And if you think about it, the white population is only about really like 1/10 of the entire global population, and so it's not talked about, but it's like the elephant in the room. And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing gave her framework of that thought process, and it's where she's saying basically, because of the lack of melanin in their skin, by 2080 they really could be wiped out of the planet. But that doesn't have to be the case. So the fear that we've seen throughout the history of America goes back to that ideology and that framework that she's trying to put context to. And I don't know if y'all watched the Grammys, but Bad Bunny, he got a bunch of Grammys there, but he also had a nice speech about love during his speech about ICE and all those things, about spreading more love than hate. And Jamal Miller, I don't know if anybody saw the fight this past weekend, but he was on the undercard of the Shakur fight versus Lopez, Timofo Lopez. And one of the undercards, I just gotta show y'all the video. If you ain't seen it, you're gonna laugh today. I promise you're gonna laugh. It's gonna be my comedy moment. But we're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna start with this first video. Y'all give me your thoughts on the other side.
Black man whose feet you see dangling above is 16-year-old Lige Daniels. The date was August 20th, 1920. And this picture was taken shortly after his lynching outside the courthouse in Center, Texas. Take a look at the faces. The faces of the men and boys standing around underneath his lifeless body. Smiles and smirks, but mostly that self-conscious look that you get when you're posing for the camera. Check out these smiles in this picture. Now here's the full picture. Looking at those faces, you would never imagine that they were standing over the burnt body of a man. His body still smoldering from being set on fire. Another black man, Will Brown. dragged out of a courthouse by a mob as he screamed and pleaded his innocence. That's Laura Nelson, a mother hanged from a bridge in Oklahoma in 1911, and her teenage son dangling right next to her. A crowd of people on the bridge posing. The name of the black man whose feet you see dangling above is 16-year-old Lige Daniels. The date was August 20th, 1920. And this picture was taken.
So when I showed that video, I was showing that video earlier, and I mean, as I was showing that video, the pictures of the people in the video is what caught my attention, where I've seen many of these where people are actually smiling and feeling comfortable. I want to ask you all are all older than I am. Not saying that in a way of a bad way, but you guys have more experience. And I want to just, let me see if I can fast forward this to right. I'm going to go a little bit more. Right here. I want to just.
A form of racial terror. It was a public spectacle.
I want y'all.
Like watching a sport. Entertainment.
I'm going to mute this.
Across the South, Midwest.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's showing the pictures. It won't let me pause it while it's going through midway there. But when was the first time you all saw a picture like that? Like, how old were you?
I can't remember.
But
I'm thinking probably elementary school.
And you saw people smiling, right?
At that time, it didn't, the crowd didn't. I focused more on the person that was being abused than the crowd.
Okay, got you. What about you, Greg?
For me, I was a TV baby,
Right.
and there was no shortage of cowboy Indian shows that showed the town come to get somebody out of jail.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But Hollywood didn't have many black folks.
Right.
So I was 12 or 13 going through books in the library when I saw that the real culprits hanged and listened to some of the stories
Right.
were Black Americans.
Right.
I've always been protected in my life. My parents kept me away from the drama, mainly because I was 6 months old when they killed Emmett Till.
Right.
And by that time, Jet Magazine and Call and Post and those things that was happening in Cleveland, that was all the news. So I could read about it. So I didn't pay attention to those things. I was in my 20s working at the post office when I saw a postcard of one of those.
Right.
Somebody sent it to somebody. I'm like, but you ask why. And for me, whiteness is all about demonizing the other. That's why they had to make it up. Right? In order for me to feel better about what I'm doing, I had to dehumanize those people.
Gotcha.
I had to not look at them as humane. They didn't worship like I did. They didn't look like I did. They just let themselves be captured and brought over here, and they were the weak ones, so they get what they got coming, all of that bully stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the bully is the one that's insecure.
Right. What about you, EB?
That's what centers me.
First time I saw that, actually, that was what Greg brought something he said earlier. First time I saw that, I don't know. I think I may have been in junior high school, and I think I focused more on the fact that it was happening. I didn't believe it. I was raised in Cleveland Heights. I didn't know racism. I didn't know it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it until I left. So that shocked me.
Yeah.
And it still does. So seeing that video was hard for me.
Yeah.
I think it's sad.
Yeah, totally get it. I was in my 20s also the first time I seen it, and I can't remember I remember I was in my 20s. It was around the time of Public Enemy, when they were coming out, that big push with them, and their perspective on history, and educating people, and Sister Soldier during those times. And I can't remember where I was at. I know it was in my high school year, like 10th grade or something, maybe ninth grade. And the no, it was older. It had to be like 10th or 11th grade. So anyway, the picture came about through, we was in class and somebody had a magazine or a book or something. It was showing something what happened during those times. And as you mentioned, Greg, the postcards, that was one of the pictures. It was like showing what would a postcard looked during that time, that they were sending their families of somebody in their community that was hung, and they were sending it to their families. Yeah, we caught so-and-so, such and such, talking about it. And for the life of me, I understand what you said, Greg, about, demonizing somebody. But I can't imagine children being present. And they had children. Like, they were like pushing their kids to see this stuff. So that brings me to, maybe brought me to another thought later, was that when young people see what adults do, young people follow the same patterns. That can go for anything. It could be the way you dehumanize people. It could be, being a womanizer. It can be whatever it may be. You follow patterns of what you see as a kid until you know better or learn better, be corrected. This is a conversation that we don't talk about. Only time I hear this conversation is in black circles, like this circle right here. When we hear about the Holocaust and all the trauma they went through, it's a conversation. They talk about it. People from all areas talk about it. It's like no issue. We can't have this conversation. And for some reason, well, it's not going to be for some reason. We know what the reason is, but it got to get to a point where this stuff has to be talked about so young people can understand that history will repeat itself if it is not corrected.
But it's the same problem. We don't talk about it because it's the same problem that created the problem. So we don't talk about it. When I say we, as a group of people, because their people are made to feel uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
They're uncomfortable, right? It's cognitive dissonance,
Yeah.
right? We don't want to do anything that makes us feel uncomfortable, so we don't talk about it. So why is there a difference between discussing the Holocaust and our Holocaust?
Right.
The reason is because that's become a narrative for a people, and no disrespect to them, that are non-melanated.
Yeah.
Right? So it still falls on that side of things. Not saying that, not discounting anything that they went through, but it falls on the non-melanated side. Now, on the other side of that is, who's going to talk about it? Us? There are, I'll give it some credit. Time is changing where there are more white people speaking out for that cause.
Right.
A lot louder than we are. And I don't think I've seen that before. But to that end, they are going to be limited to what they could say because of their experiences.
Right.
The insecurity is one thing I want to stick on. We think of everybody as other. I hear blacks say the same thing.
Yeah.
They get some of the same problems. As long as we can categorize somebody as an other,
Yeah.
then we can say and think anything. We can watch them get killed in the street. I mean, I heard a group of blacks talk about Alex Pretty like he wasn't a human.
I have too.
Like, bothered me.
Yeah.
That, and I didn't even want to get involved in the conversation. I'm thinking to myself, this doesn't make any sense, but that's the same thing that people are doing to us. So when you think of people as being an other, whether it's a homeless person, whether it's a drug addict, some people will walk past a drug addict in the middle of the street and won't even think to help them out of the street because,
Yeah.
oh, they're a drug
He's
addict.
other.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When you start thinking about other,
Mm-hmm.
then you can watch them hang in the street. You can watch them get killed. So I don't think it's no longer exclusive to white.
No, it's not. You're
I think
absolutely right.
now, it's a human problem now.
It's a problem of lack of community.
Yeah.
Because
Diverse community.
This whole society, well, either way.
Yeah.
Because I listened to Dr. Joy DeGruy.
Yeah.
And she told me taught me about the post-traumatic slave syndrome,
Yeah.
which is generational. That they've trained certain animals to see us get a shock, and they pass that on in their genes to their children, so that at some point the grandchildren of the animal would just smell the smell and they would be petrified, they'd be frozen. So that's where we are as a people right now, with generations of trauma for us, so that even the white ones, and I use white as a term that is opposed to black, because we all come from somewhere, and we all are human beings. And until you came to the United States, most of the prejudices that I learned and read about in history were along national lines. Dominicans don't like Hondurans, or Haitians don't like the Brazilians, or
Yeah.
the different cultures. But there was this group of people that decided that they had to colonize the world because they didn't worship like I did, and they didn't walk through life like I did,
Right.
had things that I didn't have. So rather than learn how to do it for themselves like their ancestors did, Homer.
Speak about that um, from that perspective, because I know you're all about community. And when I mentioned out earlier, I said, diverse communities, because if you're only surrounded by your own community or your community of many that may think like you're going to continue to go in that same pattern. So when you grab out and you meet this fellowship with different people from different walks of life, different ethnicities, everything, that's where you broaden that understanding. And you're going to have there has to be a conscious moment, or a moment in your life where you're conscious enough to say, okay, wow, I get it now. And I've walked in. Go ahead.
Look at the difference. Look at the difference between communities, though.
Yeah.
In the African diaspora,
Yeah.
community was everybody of one ethnicity. We all looked out for each other. If there was a problem, the whole community participated in the resolution of it.
Right.
With capitalism and those countries that decided, well, I have to go to war and I need to have these resources to pay for my wars, and we're going to elevate and have the caste systems.
Yeah.
That's a different kind of community.
Right.
And then it's all brought together here in the United States, the melting pot. Well, our communities in this melting pot still looked out for each other.
Yeah.
There was a place that I could go in the Lee Harvard area. You don't go across Lee Road. You don't go across Scottsdale. You don't go across Harvard. You don't go across 155th. You had a box.
Yeah.
My parents knew everybody in that box.
Right.
So there was always eyes on me that knew who I was.
Right.
We all had that, even in Cleveland Heights.
Right.
But it's not that way everywhere.
Totally get it. I mean, yeah, I totally agree.
It's every human nature is to feel like they're different from someone else. Meaning, when I say different, I say that very lightly, because a lot of people want to feel superior to the next person, right? You can go on any job in any, whether it's a post office or in corporate America, and there's somebody snitching on somebody for the exact same job, right? It's not like they're snitching on each other to get a promotion. They're snitching on each other to have the exact same job and the same pay. So you say, well, why are they doing it? Because they want
What
the
you got.
attention,
Yeah.
right? It's about human dignity
Eyeballs.
and human nature.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be received by somebody different because maybe I'm suffer with, use Greg's point, with some insecurity.
Yeah.
My mother didn't hug me enough. My father didn't hug me enough. So that's what we're dealing with, from the White House
Yeah.
to the State House, from the State House to the pulpit. Everybody wants to be better than everybody else, but ultimately, We're all paying taxes.
Right.
I don't know if y'all just got y'all tax bill. I just got mine.
Right.
We're all paying taxes. We're all got to deal with this snow.
Yeah.
We all have to deal with the government decisions.
Ours is melting.
At the end of the day, right? We have to consciously say that to ourselves. We can do that.
Ours is melting too.
So
Just ice up when the
so
sun
you
go
tossed
down.
up the White House, and this takes me to my next clip. But that's a good point. I'm glad you all took it in this direction. I'm so happy you did, because I brought up a situation in regards to Jim Crow era, and you took it to say that's human nature, that all people do the same thing. It's just really a matter of who has the leverage or the power to do it in that situation. And but still, those images.
Comes with age, though. When you're young, you don't think that.
Right.
You see the world different. You say, "Oh, wait a minute, I have to get rid of some of the stuff that I have too." Mine is just maybe a small piece, but just think if I was able to perpetuate my biases on someone on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Well, they have the power. They
Yeah.
got dominant. They're the dominant group, so they're doing it worse.
Right. Totally agree. Well, check out this next clip, and we'll talk about this on the other side.
Of files from its website related to the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Survivors were calling for the takedown after a number of them say their identities were exposed due to inadequate redactions. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, the newly released files mention President Trump, Elon Musk, and former Prince Andrew.
Several thousand documents and media related to disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein pulled from the Department of Justice website, just days after the DOJ says it released 3 million Epstein-related pages from the files. According to a letter from the DOJ filed in federal court today, the files may have inadvertently included victim-identifying information due to various factors, including technical or human error. Multiple survivors calling for the takedown, writing the DOJ committed what may be the single most egregious violation of victim privacy in one day in United States history.
Every time we hear from a victim or their lawyer that they believe that their name was not properly redacted, we immediately rectify that.
This latest batch of files released Friday includes a prosecutor's memo from 2007 showing federal authorities uncovered evidence pointing to the broad scale of Epstein's molestation and exploitation of girls and young women. That federal prosecutor initially wanted to charge Epstein with at least 60 felony counts, but in the end, he was offered a deal to serve only 13 months of an 18-month prison sentence on Florida state charges. President Trump's name comes up thousands of times in the Epstein files, mostly in news articles, but also in emails written by Epstein himself. DOJ officials have said that uncorroborated allegations regarding President Trump contained in the files are false and did not come from credible sources. The president has said after a falling out 2 decades ago, he cut off contact with Epstein. Today, in a post on social media, Trump writing that he was not friendly with Epstein. And among the thousands of newly released photos, these never-before-seen images of former Prince Andrew, who was stripped of his royal titles last year over his relationship with Epstein. Now seen here, crouched over a young woman, her face redacted. The date and context of the interaction unclear. Representatives for Andrew have not responded to a request for comment. The files also show in 2012, tech billionaire Elon Musk emailed Epstein in one note asking him when the wildest party on his island will be. But today, Musk claiming he's never been to Epstein's island or any of his parties, calling this latest release a distraction. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Guess he never got an answer to that email.
So, this is the question. So, right now, we see there is a serious mistrust going on, correct? We see the mistrust there, the lack of transparency. Now, after these drops, because we know they didn't drop everything, this is gonna fuel more conspiracy theories. Where do we go? Like, where do we go from here, Greg?
First, I want to stop and I want to make it the point to let everybody remember that this Department of Justice is not the efficient Department of Justice that used to be. These are knuckleheads and idiots running something that they don't know how to do it. anytime you copy and paste a document into Word and highlight it with Word, and don't think that the people can take and allow their edit function to unredact it, that's stupid. And it's all an attempt to get everybody numb and unenergized so that they quit paying attention to all the stuff that they're doing. So, there's so many people guilty in this because that's what they did to my people when they brought us over here from Africa and decided to breed us rather than pay for the shipping to bring more over.
I'm just waiting because you can that somebody did not keep or secured original copies of those files. And so that's what I'm waiting for, somebody to finally drop the originals.
You just won an award. That's exactly what's going on. Let's look at the broad picture here. Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis Presley, all married girls under 15 years old. So everyone's acting like this is all new. It's not all new. It's it was the narrative that it was okay, which is why when we look at this whole thing and say it's not making any sense, when something doesn't make sense, it's probably because there's a lie in there somewhere, right? So this has been, supplying young girls to billionaires have been going on in America for a long, long, long time. And this has been going on so long that it's become so normal to some people, even some of the hip hop entertainers and all of the other people. That's why so many people getting busted in this thing. The problem here is not that Donald Trump will never be found liable or guilty for anything. The problem is he controls what we see. This is not hard. I'm like her. I am wondering when these anonymous groups or some hacker is going to finally make a big dump, and all of a sudden it's going to be on Google, free to download. I suspect that one of the reasons why that probably hasn't happened because there's so many other influential people in there. They're trying to hide everybody's identity. Some of the Google reps, don't get me started. Elon Musk, on this panel believes that Elon Musk ain't had sex with a young girl? Dude,
he got
Elon Musk
14 kids, right?
And who on this call believes that Donald Trump never, ever, ever, ever groped a girl under 17? We know that happened.
Yeah.
That's why he liked being the host on those passion
Right.
shows.
Right. So,
but they own the media.
So, will this situation that just happened when they drop these files and remove them from the website? Do you all believe this is going to fuel more stories, more demanding? Is it gonna make the people, really like push back on the administration, saying, "Wait a minute"? Because remember when they first dropped those first set of files, his own party people start pushing back on him. Is this going to fuel that more, or are you waiting for another?
What is the news talking about now?
They talking about it.
What is the news talking about now? They talking about this, but they just murdered 2 people in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
They just announced they arrested 4 black journalists.
Yeah.
For practicing journalism.
Yeah. Well, it was only 2 actually. It was 2. The other 2 were activists.
2 journalists.
2 journalists, 2 activists. But I got you. I know what you're saying, though.
2 journalists, 2.
But Miles, I can tell you, I'm gonna say this phrase: the Me Too movement proved that women don't sleep.
Right.
I am telling you.
Right.
If he would have, the bunch of black women and black teenage girls talking about this. Unfortunately for him, they were blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls. Some of them come from wealthy families. And
you know why?
And guess what's going to happen? They are never going to let this go because some of them suffer from the same thing that everybody else suffer from. They want to be held important, and this won't go away. Hiding is just gonna make it worse. So maybe they should keep on hiding it so people can dig in more.
I don't know if you saw. Read somewhere where it was said Donald Trump did not want women of color. He did not like. That's why it was the blonde, blue-eyed, because he didn't like black women. And if you see how he treats black women, the reporters, you know, he's validating what they said. He despises black women.
I might push back about that a little bit, because I'll put that. I know some people who have that mentality to almost like despise these black women, but I know some also that in the hidden sheets they was.
But I'm talking
in
about
public.
him specifically.
No,
I'm talking about him specifically.
yo, him too.
Not
him
any
too.
other one.
No, him too. Him too. Because there's other women who said that black women said
The black one laughed at him.
The
black one laughed at him, and he'd not let it go.
He ain't let it go. But look, there have been some that he have had relationships with, but it wasn't public. Don't think Omarosa didn't have nothing going on with Donald Trump. At least once. I don't believe it.
No.
I don't believe it. He wouldn't have got that.
No.
He wouldn't have got. I don't believe she wouldn't have got those positions and roles that she had.
No,
I don't believe that.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Of course you do.
She was weak. And she was used. She thought she was going to rise because of that.
Yeah.
And so he used that to his advantage.
Right.
And once he got done using her, what did he do? He kicked her to the curb.
Well, she pushed back first.
That's always the narrative.
She pushed back
That's always
first.
the narrative, right?
Yeah.
No, I think that he does that to everybody though.
It's
You
no
know,
different.
once he gets what he needs out of you, he's done.
Yeah.
Hey, baller. He's a baller.
Well,
Hey, I am. He is the most. I think to me, it's going to be a phenomenon with the kind of control he has over humans that are over 40 who can read.
Okay, here we go.
They will look at this Epstein Files thing.
I got y'all.
But he got the receipts.
You got.
I got you.
He got
I got you.
to the receipt.
Based on available reports and media coverage, Donald Trump dated Kara Young. I'm not familiar with her. A model who identifies as black and has a black mother for approximately 2 years in the late 90s following his divorce from Marla Maples. Here are the details of the relationship. It was the late 90s. Young biracial model was frequently seen with Trump.
Stop right
It
there.
don't matter.
Hello. He probably didn't. She's probably one of those. He didn't even realize she was black.
Well, let me. Hey, one of y'all Google her right quick. Look her up. Kara Young. Kara Young. Go and look it up. Let's see what she looked like. And then
He probably said, oops.
Nah, because believe me, it ain't like he ain't know. I don't believe that. He gonna look. Did Greg leave us? Or he just turned his camera off? Oh no, this girl was black, man. No.
It depends on what picture you see of her.
I'm looking at all of them. No, don't give me that.
Okay.
Don't give me
Do
that.
you spell her name? Wait, hold up. Do you spell her name Kara? Her first name?
Yeah, that's her.
The first one I pulled up, she looks strictly like a white girl.
No, I got okay.
So that's what he fell in
What?
love
Let me.
Okay,
You saw.
case
Well,
closed.
hold on, Sharon.
I'm
You
looking at
you saw
several, and
one.
most of them-
I see one picture. The rest of them is not. The rest of them is a black woman.
You know
Scroll
what?
up.
I don't know how they did this, Lamar, but I'm confused. Most of the pictures I see of this lady, she looks like a typical.
Okay,
white woman.
check it. Y'all see, y'all. Here we go. I ain't giving up on this one because watch this.
And she, hey, and that's the
I
image.
can't believe we actually have
No,
this
we
debate.
gonna have this conversation because this is what we do.
And that's the that's what she had. Okay, my case is closed. You can go.
No, let me get it. Let me get this picture to my to be able to send this to my computer right quick.
Well, you know what? Well, I'm gonna tell you.
Oh,
what
don't
happened
back
in
out
her
now.
case. That, she presented that brown you know, so he
You, bro.
No. Here we go, right here. You tell me.
Come on, bro.
Tell me.
Does she look like she got afro?
No, she got dreadlocks on her hair right there. Or she got her hair.
No.
She got her long hair in the. She got her hair in
She
some
got no
kind of way.
dreads, bro.
She got her hair in some kind of way. Look at that picture.
You got denial syndrome or something, bro. Look
No,
at
her. No, you go. Wait, hold on. No, she got long hair. She don't have
How
dreads.
many sisters you know date a brother with a plaid shirt on?
Wait a minute. Wait, you gonna tell me
looking like that.
you can't tell me she don't look biracial to you? She don't look like she got black in her? Huh?
Go ahead, Sharon.
I want to bring a close up for you. There you go. Come on now.
Eat.
You don't see it?
Look, bruh.
If you saw her on the street, you gonna say she's a white woman?
Guess what I can prove? He ain't done that again. If we reverse that, once you go black, you never go back.
Oh man.
Some more of that brown sugar.
So my thing is this. I think he said he despised the women, but you hear more of that, of despising the women. I'm not saying black people in general, because he did it with his apartments. He was discriminating with his properties. But when it came to having a relationship with somebody, you seem like we've seen that throughout history. It don't matter then. Then back in public, you want to hide where you been. So anyway, that's my take on it right there. But
that's our all side. The whole, actually, to think seriously about what we all just discussed for a few minutes. A guy who owns a store down the street. We're not talking about a guy who was a trucker. We're talking about the president of the United States. Right? Yeah. What he did in his past, okay, as a rich guy, maybe he was a private citizen back then.
Yeah.
But what forced us to even start discussing those things? His present behavior.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
shouldn't even be having this discussion. We should be talking about arguing about policy right now.
Yeah.
I would even mind arguing about policy that I'm strong about.
Yeah.
But we're talking about his morality, and I say morality. I'm more mean saying how he respects other people.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he has no respect for anybody, white or black.
I agree.
We
I
just
agree.
understand it. They're shocked. They're going, there's no way another white man could ever disrespect us. Well, we go, we've been living this all of our life.
Yeah.
We got it. We understood it, right?
And I think with the shooting of Alex Preddy, that was the tipping point, because when they shot Renee Good,
Vocals going out. Okay.
when they shot Renee Good, it was like, well, they gave you all these, like, those other statements about her being a lesbian and all these different things. But when they shot the guy, it was, I'd show you, I'd even take it another step further than that. 11 days ago, he kicked out the back light of the SUV. Why didn't he get arrested then? They gave him grace. They slammed him on the ground, broke his ribs, but they didn't shoot him.
It was different ICE guys.
Oh, probably was. It was probably different, but what I'm saying is the culture of ICE in general. If that had been someone else, they wouldn't have got away with it that quick. Like I said, they slammed him on the ground. They didn't intentionally mean to break his ribs. They slammed him on the ground, but the next time they saw him, they shot him.
But you know what? And the thing that's so crazy about it is, the first time he was, at them. The second time, he was trying to protect the woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, why do you feel you need to shoot this man? Because he's trying to protect this woman that you're attacking. He attacked you, and you let him go.
But
didn't even
the problem
arrest him.
is that they know daggone well that people are going to together. The present ICE officers did not know that was the same person.
They didn't. They didn't.
They're just operating, right? They don't have an intelligence arm of the ICE.
But you know what?
Yeah.
What's so weird is, though, how did they even know that was out there to even go dig it up on him?
Oh, listen.
There's video everywhere. Remember, ICE is recording too.
Yeah. Face recognition.
Yeah, but I guess they just thought, you know what, this ain't the first time this guy been out here. Let's see what else we can find on him.
No, it's like when your kids get caught doing something and the other sibling don't get busted. They say, let me show you something they did too, just to get the eye off of him. And this is, again, look what we have been minimized to talk about.
Yeah.
We're talking about behavior of law enforcement officers that are akin to, we can only relate it to what our children do.
Yeah.
Not what a seasoned officer. When you look at the people background that shot him, these guys were trained professionals with, I think, any other circumstances, would have impressive backgrounds. But their brain works as just like the Proud Boys that is on ICE. They have reduced themselves to just being shooters. They're going to go down in history as being the person that shot somebody because of a minor protest.
Yeah.
With all the accomplishments they made, it's going to go down the drain because they listened to Trump.
Well, I had this conversation today about ICE. Somebody, I can't remember what thread I was on, what post I was on, but someone mentioned and said that how, where were all these protests and complaints during Obama's administration? I had to pull up some links to show the guy they were protesting, especially in Arizona. They was right there on the border. And Obama got scrutinized big time. The difference was the leader in charge handled it differently than this current leader is handling it. That was the difference. Yeah. When you dehumanize people.
Truth about that.
Yeah, when you dehumanize people. I mean, I criticize Obama too, because I'm like, it's not right. I didn't like it. I didn't like seeing it. I knew people that were of Hispanic descent that I hung out with in Cleveland. I had friends of mine. I did ministry with people that was Hispanic. And I didn't know the depth of what ICE was doing until that time. So I criticized Obama myself. But then when I put up these links, this guy was like, well, I only saw it in St. Louis. No, Arizona. It was some parts of Texas, Florida. There were people that were complaining. And so
he deported a lot.
He did the most. He deported the most people, but he didn't get on at a press conference and call them trash and say they came from crap hole countries. He didn't say all that.
Correct. And part of the reason why he was doing such a push is because he was trying to win. He thought, for some reason, he could win over the other side by giving them some of what they want.
Right.
Well,
food
I'm sure that maybe his mother-in-law said, "Look, fool, they don't like you, no matter
exactly.
what."
That's what it was.
That's why he went crazy and did what he wanted to do in the second term. But the first term, he was just trying to get everybody to like him.
Yeah.
And I don't know what possessed him to think that was going to happen. So some of that stuff that he did that a lot of us don't agree with came because he was trying to win over them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ICE, I'm going to toss you another video right quick. Here we go.
Well, some Ohio communities are preparing for immigration enforcement operations next week.
NBC4 State House reporter Jesse Bethea spoke with the governor about the impact it could have.
Governor Mike DeWine said he does not know for sure if or when federal immigration enforcement agents will arrive in the state, but he's working with state and local officials to prepare. Tens of thousands of Haitian immigrants live in Ohio under federal temporary protective status. That status is set to expire next week.
These people are working and they're hard workers. So I think from a public policy point of view, it is a mistake. It's not in the best interest of Ohio.
That expiration means those immigrants who are here legally could be considered illegal overnight, and any protection from deportation ends. Senator Bernie Moreno and other Republicans say Haitian immigrants should have been aware of the change in status and have had the opportunity to leave the country voluntarily. Ohio communities like Springfield, which is home to 15,000 immigrants, are bracing for potential ICE operations, especially after deadly encounters between federal agents and civilians in Minneapolis.
Our officers are trained. They know how to de-escalate situations. We expect ICE to follow good police procedures.
DeWine said ICE has the right to enforce immigration laws in Ohio and that Ohioans also have the right to peacefully demonstrate against ICE. He said state and local officials are prepared to keep the peace.
We are there with the Highway Patrol to back up their local police and to back up their local sheriff. There's room for demonstrations, but there also is room for people from the federal government to do what they do.
DeWine said he expects to receive notice a day or two before any federal immigration enforcement operations begin in Ohio. Local for you at the State House, I'm Jesse Bethea, NBC4.
Thanks for watching.
Question. Why do you think he chose Springfield at this time? You muted, EB.
He's petty.
Petty? What about you, Sharon?
We're looking for some rational reason.
Yeah.
That's how petty he is. Why is he not? Please tell me why he's not in Florida.
Right.
How many been to Florida?
Right.
You know how many?
It's 1.7 in Texas. You know, illegal, undocumented. Okay. You know, like 1.3 in Florida.
That left Florida because of that.
Yeah.
Right. He's petty.
I think he's gone after what he thinks are the weakest links, and so you know, Abbott gives him everything he wants. Okay, and so why not Texas? Now I hear there are some here, but it's not like the extent what he did in Minnesota and what he's trying to do in Ohio. So I think he's that's basically what it is. He's gone after states that will not comply to what he wants.
Well, this is the first. This is the first Republican state where they're doing an invasion like this of ICE.
That's why I say he's petty, and unfortunately, in 2 years from now, we'll be find some financial way to buy out Springfield because he'll be in some financial trouble. You cannot take 12 to 15,000 people out of a community, which we know that most of them are working.
And that's small.
I tell you, right? If you take that group out of the community, who's going to do their jobs?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
who's going to live in the housing? Could you imagine what the landlords are going to have to do if these people leave? Now they still got to pay their property taxes. They still got to pay house note. This is going to be a financial Springfield, and it's going to affect all the surrounding community. It's unfortunate.
Well, one thing that I do agree with you with petty, but I want to take it a deeper level of why it's petty. If you remember during the presidential campaign, he went on the debate stage and talked about how they eating cats and dogs, knowing.
I thought about that.
And the thing about it though, he said, well, that's what they're saying. That's what they're telling me. He never takes accountability. So in that moment, he was caught lying on the stage. In that moment, he saw the world saw the ignorance of Donald Trump. That wasn't the first time, but that was on a stage during a presidential debate. So to go to Springfield now, he waited right into the TPS was expiring, and now he's saying I have a reason now to deport. That's what it's about. He has a reason now because it is expiring now. If some of these people get their citizenship or go through that process now, I'm not sure if they will allow them or not because of the way they came in, because they were seeking some type of protection because of what was going on in Haiti. But that's how petty he is, and he waited until a moment when they're about to expire that special access to our country, and it's humiliating.
But he's not even waiting for that. He's going in where people are doing it the right way, and they're not even allowing them to finish their court hearings. They snatch them right
Well, this is different, though, because this is where they had special permission to be here, but it expires tomorrow. That TPS expires tomorrow. And that's what I was saying. He picked this time to do this.
Yeah, by every measure, rationally, we cannot say that he's doing something illegal.
Exactly. That's why he's doing it.
He had to know when the deadline was up. And we can all agree, or at least I can agree, that, okay, there's not a lot of argument to be made that he shouldn't touch them. But I am just saying that I am sure that Ohio is not the only place where a large group of Haitians are.
Definitely not.
But he picked Ohio because he's petty. He's not picked Florida. He's not picked Texas. He's not Indiana. He's not. He is doing this because he's petty.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this. That's why it takes a distraction off of it.
Yeah.
Because they go, okay, well, maybe he's following the law, but we know he's doing it because he's petty.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. And I see. Looks like Greg. Look, he dipped back in, but his camera's not back on yet. You coming in, Greg? Are you still? Are you peeking from the background?
Driving. I'm looking in the back, and I'm driving.
Okay, got you. Just wanted to make sure because you jumped in there. I just heard the audio, and I'm like, where you at? Okay, it's cool.
Yeah, they don't want to see all this snow.
No, I hear you. So I won't bring you on camera. I'll just keep you on the background. Just interject when you want. But anyway, yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. Why he's doing this now is because the TPS is expiring tomorrow on the 3rd. They're supposed to invade, I guess, come in on the 4th or something like that. Don't quote me on those exact dates, but it's in the next couple of days. And that is very petty. And I think it has to do with the humiliation of the cats and dogs conversation. And now it's like, now I got you. You know, he's like, I got you. And
so sad.
it is. It's very sad. And I just wish that we'll get to a point where we could just stop all the BS and be like, the country in general be like, come on, y'all. We got to do better as a country. And we got to do better. If we're going to be leaders of this world, of how you want to be considered leaders of the world, we're actually imploding day by day from the inside. Where we just, we're crumbling.
There's competing things here. We know that there are reasonable conservative people who we may not agree with, but they're reasonable. They're standing in the background because they don't want to get primaried.
Yeah.
Right? The Democrat, look, let me tell you, that just like I said, the Democrats have a chance to defund or minimize the funding for ICE. It's everybody's talking about it. They will not do it. And that's frustrating for people on the outside looking in. They're not going to do it. They're going to throw up a good game. They'll post comments. And I guess I'm frustrated because we are limited at what we can do, but the legislator is where we are being told to rely on. All we got to do is cut funding little by little, right? And then we can decide just from the funding of where these ICE agents are going. That's the place to stop them. But until those kind of things happen, we'll see this madness will continue.
Yeah.
So let's jump in with the right terminology, because words matter. The one word that people allow them to use and throw at us, which has always been what they do since Trump has been in office, he accused you of doing what he does, is terrorism. It's the threat that on the 3rd, or maybe the 4th, or it could be the 5th, we're going to come in and clean y'all out. And the governor of the state has said, leave them people alone because they're doing right for our economy in our state. So that's more war between the Fed and the states. And what did Trump say all of them times when he was coming? We want to throw everything back to the states. We want a small government. We want the states to have all of this,
right,
so he can run over the states.
Good point. That's a great point.
Great point.
Yeah. But it's not. It's the state because they know they're weaker.
Right.
I think I want to give kudos to our governor because contrary to what people believed before Trump got in, that he was just going to jump on the Trump train. That did not happen. He's doing everything he can to make sure that he is staying as a representative of this state, right? But he knows how limited he is. He's not dumb. In political career, I don't think he even cares about that at this point. But I think at this point now, he knows that he has to do whatever is legal. Otherwise, he can get himself in a whole bunch of trouble.
Yeah, totally agree. I'm going to toss it over, still on the ICE vein right quick. With ICE, let's toss it over to the Grammys. You all missed the Grammys last night, right?
Yeah.
I don't watch. I'm gonna be honest. I don't watch any award shows because I think they all fixed anyway. I can't stand them anyway because it's like there's so many great artists. You see these people that get these awards, but this guy right here, he's gonna have a big year, 2026. And I want you guys to take a listen to what he had to say last night.
Was that Kid Rock? No, I'm just joking.
Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say ICE out. We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans, and we are Americans. Also, I want to say to the people, I know it's tough to know, not to hate on these days. And I was thinking, sometime we get contaminados. I don't know how to say that in English. The hate get more powerful with more hate. The only thing that is more powerful than hate is love. So, please, we need to be different. If we fight, we have to do it with love. We don't hate them. We love our people, we love our family, and that's the way to do it, with love. Don't forget that, please. Thank you. Thank you, God.
So that was Bad Bunny last night at the Grammys. And as you all know, he's going to be performing at the Super Bowl this year. And it's been such a pushback. And the ignorance of some Americans was that they thought he was from, well, it's two stupids that's in this conversation. The first stupid was that he needs to go back to his own country. He's an American because he's from Puerto Rico. And like, you know how colonization work, you grab some land and you buy it. You know what I'm saying? You just take it. So he's from Puerto Rico. And the second piece of that is, by him coming to America, they've already set up stations. They already set up an agenda to have ICE at the football game to arrest people who may be undocumented that are going to the Super Bowl. So it's going to be interesting, but I like how his approach was with love, but I respect him also because he stopped some of his tours here in the United States because he didn't want his supporters being arrested at the concerts. And so he took a hit on his money in order to protect people here in this country. And so I respect that.
The demise of Donald Trump is going to be that he has caused the millionaires to lose money.
Yeah.
I think that his demise is going to bring the billionaires to be on the same sidelines as we are. Right now, they can make it up in other ways, but little by little, they're going to start seeing their finances go down. Soy companies are already frustrated about that. I'm sure the NFL is going, do you know how much money he's going to cost us by arresting people? They'll start letting things happen to him and stop surrounding himself too much. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that financially, that's where things going to make a turn at.
What's your favorite Bad Bunny song, Sharon?
I never heard of Bad Bunny until he was going to be performing at the Super Bowl.
Right. Thank you for introducing me to him, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I
Marvin Gaye went through the same thing.
Yeah,
so it's all
right. I didn't. I had not heard his music. I've heard of him, but I wasn't familiar with his music until I heard he was going to be at the Super Bowl. So I did. I went through some of his stuff on Spotify and checked it out. But
I'd be interested to find out how much his streams went up since.
See the Grammys he got. It speaks volumes. It speaks volumes. So I know our time's running thin, but I got one more for y'all. This was the one that just took it over the top for me this weekend. By the way, did anybody see any of the boxing that went on this past weekend?
I did not, but I saw some highlights. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was Shakur Stevenson, moved up in weight. He's the youngest guy to get 4 world titles. The fastest. He's only 23 years old. I thought it was really amazing what he did. But on the undercard, man, bro, I'm telling y'all, it was. I'll just show you.
Well, I've never seen this before, but
oh my God.
On social media, that's like a cartoon. Oh my goodness.
So Let me get this. I had the wrong clip. Hold on. So that happened Saturday night. So if
He got his wig knocked off.
he got his knocked off. It was so funny. He went to his corner, right? He just, because right now, you know, the world saw this, like global. So he stood up, he took it off, and flung it in the audience. But he got, you can do YouTube Jamal Miller, but he did make light of it himself. He made jokes about himself with it, and come to find out that before the fight, he was with his mom at her house, and she had some shampoos and stuff on the counter, and he grabbed one to start washing his hair with, and let me get it right. Let me make sure I got this right. It turned out to be what they call it. It was like an alcohol or something that was in whatever he washed his hair with, or however that went. So I guess whatever they glued it down with made it loose or whatnot. But when he got hit, it just went up in.
Hey, he gonna start doing some reality TV shows. Trust me, that just made him famous.
Yeah, I mean, and he joked about it.
That's good.
He joked about it, he laughed about it, but I'm watching it, I'm like, dang, did his hair just move? And then they said it, and I was like, oh gosh, it did. And so I was watching clips, and they had some other fighters like they was in a little lobby area or waiting room. They was watching it on the screen, and the dude said, what happened to his hair? Like, he's like, man, all this time I thought that was his real hair, you know. So
be surprised how many I know a brother right now that wear one.
Yeah, I mean, no shade. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. But you can't get in the ring and get it knocked off. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
So, with that being said, it was great. It's been a great show today. We talked on some very, very deep conversations, topics. I didn't get through all the content I wanted to today because I thought it was getting late. I want to have you reclaim your time back. But I want to get into the conversation on one of our later shows about the lady I was telling you about. Now I can't remember her name. Frances. Yeah, Frances. What is it? Frances Calise Welsling, who talks a lot about the extinction of maybe the white population on our globe because of the fact that their pigmentation does not reproduce more of if they mix with other races. So it was very interesting, and I saw her first on Phil Donahue on a clip. So if you all get a chance to Google that, I think I sent you all the scripts. Her name is right there. Google that or YouTube it and put /Phil Donahue. It was very, very interesting and engaging conversation, and she commanded the stage with her framework of what she's talking about to where a point that you really can't deny it the way she talks about it. But I want to maybe later have some conversation with other people to come on and invite them on the show and give us their perspective of that framework and the conversation they have within their own circles about that. You know, when you say that the fear of losing the white race on the globe, that conversation kind of gets skipped over and like nobody wants to talk about it. But I feel that necessarily doesn't have to happen like that. I don't think that's going to happen they may be the minority.
Because that's only mathematical superiority complex. I would
say
right. I would say it only matters to the people that want to remain superior.
Right. Because if you're the minority, it shouldn't matter.
Black people never sit around and say, oh, what's going to happen if we get extinct? That's not something we ever talk about, right? Because it does not matter. We're still going to be treated the same way no matter what happens. No. So, in other words, my opinion is it shouldn't even matter.
Yeah. So we'll get deeper into that. We'll get deeper into another episode. But, being a minority is not a bad thing in a country. It's not a bad thing. That's basically what I wanted to say. So if we could agree that we're going to try to meet up again next week and try to do this again. I really enjoy it. We want to thank Greg for spending time with us as well. I know he has to take care of his parents. Be safe out there, brother, in that snow. And until then, I'll catch y'all all next week.
It sounds like a plan.
Yo. GGP, y'all ready? Welcome to the space where the truth gets spoken. Trap snares popping, hands up, energy open. Where the chains get broken and the culture stays golden. We move with grit, say grit. We rise with grace, say grits. We push for progress. Progress. No justice. No sleep. Snare snapping, keep that bounce alive. Unapologetic black, unfiltered, unshaken. We the future in motion, history in the making. Let's go! Every step, every voice, every beat that we speak. We the rhythm of the people rising week after week. From the block to the ballot, the mic